Gen X users account for over 1.5 billion views on YouTube every day. Considering YouTube averages about 5 billion views per day, Gen Xers make up more than 1/5 of YouTube's total views. Let that sink in. If you're a Gen Xer thinking about starting a YouTube channel, what are you waiting for? Hey, I'm Mike. I studied film, I work in TV, and I love movies. I think the biggest change came when YouTube started being included on every smart TV sold. Gen Xers are less likely to watch on their phones. We like our entertainment on the big screen. We're the generation of the 60-inch flat screens. My kids consume the majority of their content on their phones and laptops, which I think is why YouTube on smart TVs accounts for the sudden rise in Gen X viewership. And by 2028, Gen Xers will outnumber baby boomers for the first time, making us the largest generation. It's our turn now to teach the younger generation the knowledge we've collected. That's why I started making videos. I picked a lane I felt confident I could talk about, and I got to work. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you what I learned in the first 6 months as a Gen X YouTuber. 1. Pick a niche. You're good at something. You know something. When you go online and you see someone talking about that something, you say to yourself, I know more than that guy about something. So what's your niche? What is the thing that you can talk about all day and never get tired of? That's what your channel should be about. 2. It doesn't have to be perfect. As a Gen Xer, we grew up on a steady diet of highly polished entertainment. Movies and TV we consumed was made by professionals, and you may feel the need to create content that looks like what we were used to. Get that out of your head. Most of the content on YouTube is someone sitting in front of a camera, talking and delivering information. And if you have something of value to say, people will listen. Both Gen Xers and Gen Y and Gen Alpha, whatever they're calling the kids these days, are looking for answers online. It doesn't matter how old you are. If you're looking for an answer, you search for it in Google. Google owns YouTube. Why? I think it's because they realize that most people learn better from watching videos than by reading. Think about what question you want to answer and set up a camera and answer that question. Most of us didn't grow up with a camera in our pockets like the younger generations did, but nowadays your iPhone or just about any point-and-shoot camera will give you an amazing image. I have to mention that I did in fact grow up with a camera in my hand. I've been making movies since I was a kid on my parents' VHS-C camera. I went to film school and worked for media companies my entire life. And for this next bit, I'm talking to people like me, film and television professionals, especially those of you who are currently out of work. Our business is going through a tough time, but you have valuable skills to make amazing content. You have information that younger generations want to hear and the know-how to record yourself and present that information. Now I want to further dive in and talk specifically to my promo people out there. I did marketing and promotions for TV networks. We know how to grab viewers' attentions and hold them there. We've been doing it for years. We have the perfect skill set to provide informative information in an entertaining manner. What are you waiting for? But here's where I bring it back to the big takeaway. It doesn't have to be perfect. I actually think my professionalism was holding me back. I know it sounds funny, but as soon as someone sees a professionally shot video, they tend to click away, thinking it's an ad for something. Our senses have become so highly attuned to sniff out the advertisements, so dial it back, relax, just talk to the camera. My inclination as a Gen Xer is to provide a beginning, a middle, and an end, like a story. But to grab people's attention, you need to pose a question. In the thumbnail or title, give the viewer what they came for in the first few seconds, and then lay out the rest of the video. So it's kind of like the middle, then the beginning, then the end. I heard someone say, reward the click. That means in the first 5 seconds, you should be talking about what it is your viewer came to hear. You'll have time later to explain who you are and why they should listen to you. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just address the question you're answering, and people will listen. 3, it's not going to live forever online like our parents told us it would. I remember my parents warning me when Facebook first came out not to post anything online because it'll come back to haunt me. By the way, my mom's constantly on Facebook now. There is some truth to that, but the reality is, after the first few days, your views kind of level out. The long-form videos seem to get served for longer, but the shorts die off after about a week. I'm purposely trying to create evergreen content. That is, content that can be just as relevant in 6 months as it is in 6 years. When I first started posting, I thought millions of people would see it immediately, and what would my friends think? And the reality is, at first anyway, very few people will actually see your videos. This is a blessing in disguise. Use this time to build your confidence, make your mistakes, hone your voice, and see what works and what doesn't work for you. And then, when you're finally happy with the way it's looking, you can share it with your friends. The second half of this is, what will my friends say? Here's how I would answer that. How is making YouTube videos any different than posting on Facebook or Instagram? That's how I see it. My friends who know about this channel have all been very supportive. Truth be told, I don't post these videos to my personal Facebook or Instagram. I have this channel and a TikTok, both under Scalarius. I mostly post to YouTube because I like the horizontal format, but I'm dabbling on TikTok. I also have an Instagram account for this type of content, which is Scalarius_movie_guy. This isn't an advertisement to go and follow me there. I use Instagram to drive people back here, to YouTube. It's the marketer in me, and I know a lot of younger creators are going to chime in and say I should be spreading my content on different platforms. Here's my 2 cents on that. I make videos for YouTube. When I post them on TikTok, they don't feel like they're speaking to the TikTok audience. Same for Instagram. My videos are a little more like television, and I know that. Maybe your content will speak to a TikTok audience. But I think every platform has its audience, and you need to tailor content for that audience. And I don't have time to go and recut my videos for every single platform. I'm only 6 months in, and I'm focusing on this audience here on YouTube because of the reasons I listed earlier. More of my generation are here consuming content. I have content I think this audience will want, and as a card-carrying Gen Xer, I despise the vertical format. Maybe by my 1-year update, that will have changed. We'll see. I heard someone describe the different platforms as YouTube is walking and TikTok is running, and I agree with that. On YouTube, you have a little more time to make your point. TikTok is like a fire hose to the face. Then I have my personal Facebook and Instagram accounts, which I don't post these videos on. The reason is I have about 600 followers on each of my personal accounts, and they're there to see my personal content. My kids, funny pictures I post, personal milestones like graduations, baby showers. It's how we as Gen Xers keep in contact with one another. God forbid we pick up the phone and call. Those 600 people wouldn't really move the needle on YouTube for me. For starters, it's not what they signed up to see. They want pictures of my kids. I'm looking for thousands of people who are interested in the niche I've selected for myself: movies, film analysis, film history. I'm appealing to a very different audience. You guys don't want to see me on vacation in a bathing suit just as much as those guys don't want to hear me talk about movies. Trust me, they get enough of that when we hang out. 4, you don't have to be an authority. My first few videos were heavily researched. I watched all the movies I spoke about, some for the first time, others I've seen thousands of times, but I rewatched them to keep it fresh in my head. I wanted to make sure I had everything fact-checked before I went public with a video. But I've come to realize I don't need to be the authority on the subjects I'm talking about. I'm not the last word on the subject. I just need to facilitate a conversation. That was a huge realization for me. Here are my thoughts on the subject as someone who may know more than the average person, but not as much as the collective on the interwebs. I've actually learned a lot from the comments and interacting with viewers. Why? Because the people who watch my videos love movies just as much as I do. A while back, I posted a video with a tiny error in it. You guys came out in droves to comment pointing out my mistake. If you haven't seen it, I'll let you go watch through my videos to find it. That video got more clicks than just about any of my other videos. Now, I'm not making the case for purposely being wrong to generate clicks. I don't want to get a reputation for being wrong. The lesson I took away was if I were to facilitate a conversation online, the video would get offered to more people on YouTube to join in on that conversation. 5, post with frequency. I have posted a video once a week for 29 weeks. That may be a lot for you, or you might be capable of more. The frequency is up to you. I've noticed that the algorithm rewards consistency. I actually missed 1 week in 29 weeks. I had a video ready to go, but got cold feet at the last minute about posting it, so I held off and posted the following week. The video that I returned with got a fraction of the impressions of my other videos, which means YouTube only presented it to a small number of viewers. My videos normally get shown to about 20,000 people or 20,000 impressions, and I get on average 500 to 1,000 clicks per video. I'm just being honest, it's not a flex, it's very far from it. I'm working on raising my click-through rate. But I was sure the algorithm was punishing me. Then I found an error in the video and I pulled it down. I thought, great, this is a chance to repost the same video and trick the algorithm and hopefully get back to the impressions I was used to. So I reposted and watched the impressions on the new video shoot up. But I still didn't get any clicks. Turns out it was probably just a bad video. Seriously though, I think it's one of my best videos. It's about famous Hollywood hats. It's just that YouTube didn't know who to serve it to. No one is searching for famous Hollywood hats. See, an idea like that would work on TV with a built-in audience that tunes in every week to see what you have for them. And it'll probably work better once I have 10,000 followers and I've built my channel as a destination for interesting content. But for now, with 685 viewers at the time of this recording, the algorithm didn't know what to do with my hat video. It's actually pretty great. You should go see it. This has actually been the thing I'm working on at the moment. I know what kind of content I want to produce and watch for myself. I'm just trying to figure out what kinds of content you guys want to see. So if you have any ideas for future episodes and feel like I can facilitate a conversation on that subject, drop it in the comments below and I'll get to it. Anyway, if you can't tell, I'm having the time of my life creating content here on YouTube, and these are just some of the lessons I've learned in my 6 months as a Gen X YouTuber. I hope you got some information from this, and maybe I've even inspired you, fellow Gen Xer, to flip that camera on and start recording. As always, film is about community. I'm Mike, and I love movies.